Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. We are back for our second match of the night. We're in the Season 7 playoffs. We've got in the Prospect League, the number 2 seed Bandits going up against the number 7 seed Minotaurs. Your boy Psychonautic still in the booth. Hopefully going to be bringing some of that sweet, sweet action to your doorsteps this time, unlike our last forfeit. Joined in the booth by Charles. How you doing tonight, my man?
I'm doing all right, another playoff game, and the forfeit was unfortunate, but we do have some Rocket League action for all the viewers at home, and I'm just excited to get this underway. I mean, we have two very good teams here, and I'm just excited to see them out on the pitch.
Yes, we certainly do. On one side, we've got the Minotaurs, Snazzy, Rogue, and Wheels. Jtron is rounding off that roster. Also, while I'm thinking about it, shout out to Jtron for the resub. 4 months, so we can get some love in the chat for Jtron. And then on the other side of the fence, we've got the Bandits with Redwater, DrWaffles, and Frosty Peanut. Rounds off that roster. Charles, you know anything about these guys?
Well, actually, yes, I do. They actually faced off in week 1. I mean, the first matchup of the season where it was Bandits versus Minotaurs, and the Bandits took that one 3-1. So, Minotaurs might be looking for revenge here, but they're faced with the number 2 seed, which is going to be a tough task as it is. But as we saw last night, the 2 seed could be taken down potentially, and I wouldn't be all that surprised if they do.
Yeah, it would definitely be a good one, and a huge upset for the Minotaurs if they could. And I'm thinking we got everybody in the lobby. We're running a little bit behind, so let's get that caster prediction from you there, Charles. Do you think that the Minotaurs are going to have an upset here?
I support the Minotaur upset. I'm gonna go Minotaurs in 6 games.
Minotaurs in 6. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get directly into it. It looks like the Twitch channel is exactly 50-50 at 17,000 points, 17,300, and the Discord survey shows in favor of the Bandits 40-10. So we'll see how that plays out in this best of 7 series. Winner moving on to the semifinals. Loser goes home for the rest of season 7. DrWaffles gonna 50 with Rogue. Rogue there for it. He beats out the defender. Redwater back, makes the stop on the goal line. Snazzy trying to get one through. It's not gonna go. Wheels takes it off the top of the defender. Rogue is there off the backboard. Redwater can't get the touch. And DrWaffles for the clear. Minute gone so far. And it seems like the Minotaurs are a little bit more hot and heavy than the Bandits so far, Charles.
And I would have to agree with you. One thing I'm noticing from the Bandits is they're very clumped up on defense, and they're expecting a little bit of anticipation for that clear out. And I think it's catching them off guard a little bit here. I think they just need to take their time a little bit. Just don't stress it as much as they are right now. And, it's only a minute and a half into the game. And, I would like to see some more offensive pressure from Bandits as we're seeing currently.
Yes, they are starting to pick it up a little bit, but will it be enough? Snazzy clears the ball and immediately gets cleared out by a rotating member of the Bandits. Wheels missing his touch. Frosty gets it through. Rogue out of the corner. Gonna stick with it. DrWaffles to take that away. Redwater looking for the fake. Wheels not going to get faked. He gets the catch. Coming off the sidewall. Looking for Snazzy in the mid. Snazzy's there with the shot. He puts it past the defender. And Minotaurs up by 1.
One thing we forgot to mention, Minotaurs, very mechanical team. And you saw it right there, Psycho. Beautiful pass. And what a beautiful shot to start things off. That's going to give Minotaurs a buku amount of confidence.
Yeah, and they picking up a lot of momentum with that one as well. 2 minutes gone from the clock. There was a lot of back and forth there. Finally broken open by the Minotaurs. So we'll see if they can hang on to this lead DrWaffles chasing that ball, gets the demo on Snazzy. Might be an open net. The double commit comes out, but the Minotaurs are able to make the stop on the goal line and keep the lead as they enter into the second half of game number 1. Snazzy with the shot. Redwater making yet another save, picking up his savior medal in this game. Wheels slowing things down. Wheels is still with it in the midfield, trying to get it past Redwater. Pops it up over one, gets a demo. Rogue is there. He takes advantage and slams that one home.
Another display of mechanics. Wheels really sticking with that one. And I think he demoed one and bumped the other, just taking care of it all by himself. And that's going to be a dunk down for Rogue. What a performance we're seeing by this Minotaurs offense.
What a performance indeed. Redwater sends that one all the way down. Rogue not going to let it go by. Rogue sending it out from the mid. Nobody from the Bandits back. Disaster strikes as Minotaurs goes up by 3.
I think that's just unfortunate. I think the third man committed a little too heavy on that one, leaving a wide open net for Wheels, and he takes full advantage.
Yeah, the Bandits definitely going to have to do something here as they're falling behind, and it's just starting to snowball in favor of the Minotaurs. This is only the first game of this best of 7 series, though, so it's not like the end of the world. They have plenty of time to start making some adjustments moving into the latter games of this series. Snazzy bounces that one, pops it up high. Redwater puts it off to the side. Rogue still with it. Rogue popping it over just a little bit too hard. It's going to go into the opposite corner. Wheels taking a shot. It's going to bounce off the crossbar. The ball does get popped and cleared up. Snazzy in the mid, out to Rogue, can't find it. DrWaffles does instead. He sends the long ball back, but it's not on target. Frosty's up, puts it down on net. Wheels going to get to it. And as we approach the final 60 seconds of this game, Charles, it's not looking like it's going to be possible for Bandits to make a comeback in this game.
I feel like if they're going to make a comeback, they need to be aggressive, as we almost see a goal trickle in there. Yeah, they're going to have to be more aggressive, especially considering that they're down by 3 with less than a minute to go. And we just haven't seen that from their offense. And they're letting just Minotaurs have so many shooting opportunities. And DrWaffle is actually going to go through the whole defense, put that top left.
Wow, what a solo play from DrWaffles, taking it from his own net, getting it past Rogue and Wheels in the midfield. A bit of a miscommunication coming out from them as they get a little team bump going on in the midfield, which results in a conversion for the Bandits. However, with 40 seconds left on the clock, Bandits still down by 2 points. They're going to need to get another goal quick, and Redwater trying to do just that. Almost finds it, and DrWaffles barely unable to clean it up. 30 seconds left. The Bandits need something, and they need it now. DrWaffles gets the pass out to the mid. Frosty's there, but Wheels to clear it out. Wheels with the shot on net. Redwater gets in front of that one. Makes the stop. The final 10 seconds now upon this Bandits team. They have to find the goal. Frosty looking for the redirect. Can't get it. DrWaffles in a last-ditch effort, as the ball only has to hit the ground now for the Minotaurs to be your victors here in game number 1.
And they played an excellent game. Obviously, very mechanical players, but they put that on full display, as actually the standout player for me is Wheels with 5 saves. Just a ridiculous amount of saves. But on the Bandits side of the ball, I really liked how they played in the latter half of that game number 1. They were aggressive, and they capitalized off of it. I mean, they got a goal. I just need to see more of that going into game number 2, and maybe they can expand upon this, getting the last goal of this game, maybe continuing that pressure on to game number 2.
Yeah, they're going to need to do something if they want to keep up with this Minotaurs roster, because these guys are firing on all cylinders right now. Wheels with 690 points, just doing the most on the field in that match. And you love to see it. Honestly, I felt like all 3 of the Minotaurs showed up at one point or another during that match. And if Bandits are going to, expect to be able to make a comeback, they're going to have to make a lot of changes, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I fully agree with you. A lot of changes, but it is only game number 2. And, you know, this could be game number 1 might have been just a learning game. Game number 2, hopefully we see a little bit of adjusting from this Bandits roster. Applying that pressure really helps, obviously score goals, but to make a team respect you. And if you want to win games, you have to make sure that the opposing team respects you, and that is exactly what we need to see from this Bandits roster.
And we might just see that right here. Redwater almost getting the solo play past Snazzy, but Snazzy staying strong. Oh, a little bump shot almost coming out from the Minotaurs there. Wheels is up. Can't get it through Frosty. Redwater 50 with Rogue. It is still in the Bandit zone. DrWaffles plenty of time to work with here. He gets dunked out, though. Looked like by Snazzy. Wheels is up. Gets the touch over one. No, the defender still clips it, but Rogue is there, trying to put it off the backboard. DrWaffles to clear it away. Snazzy keeping the pressure alive for Minotaurs. Missing his touch, faking out DrWaffles. Redwater trying to clear it out. Rogue not to let him. Rogue with the touch off the backboard. Wheels is there. DrWaffles can't get it, and Wheels going to start things off.
That's just a bang, bang play. I thought Rogue had that for a second. Just barely missed it, and Wheels is going to capitalize that beautiful shot, and it is now a 1-0 game.
And that's not what you want if you're on the Bandits. They really needed that early lead, if you ask me, to help out their morale a little bit. Minotaur is going to get it though. Minotaur's looking to control the pace of game number 2. Rogue coming out of the corner. Redwater to take it away from him. Wheels getting it back, trying to get it downfield. Snazzy coming in to take it in the mid. Snazzy almost finding Wheels, but the play not going to go. Gets cleared away. Redwater can't get it through Rogue. We got just above 3 minutes left on the clock here. Charles and DrWaffles coming in, trying to get the shot through the defense, but Minotaurs are like a brick wall right now, Charles.
And they're looking really good on defense, and that is very apparent as they've completely shut out the Bandits. And if that one goal didn't get scored last game, they would have shut the Bandits out again. Their defense is looking really good, and I think that could propel them to a Game 2 victory.
It could very well, and if it does, that's going to be a pretty scary situation for the Bandits, as they've only been managed to score 1 goal so far this entire series. Only a game and a half so far played, but if they don't pick up the pace, Minotaurs are just going to shut them down. We may very well have a sweep on our hands. Redwater taking a shot. It's off. Oh. DrWaffles with the heads up. Demo opening up the lane. Frosty going to take advantage and tie us up at 1.
That is exactly the kind of play that you need, and especially in this situation. I mean, you were down 1-0. You need a clutch goal. That's exactly what needs to happen. And Waffles, what a beautiful demo, opening up that Minotaurs defense that is so stout so far, and Frosty just puts it in the back of the net.
Frosty with another shot on, but Rogue takes it away. Rogue off the sidewall, gets dunked out by the Bandits. Wheels with a banger into the Bandits corner. Frosty looking to get a little air dribble here, gets behind the ball. Wheels with the save. The ball is up in the corner. Minotaurs. Rogue puts it down to the mid. Frosty with the shot that goes high. Snazzy gets in front of DrWaffles' shot. The Bandits are still on the press here. And they're still in the Minotaur zone. Waffles coming out of the corner. The double commit coming out. Redwater not able to get a shot on net. The ball crosses over the midline. Rogue looking to make things for the Minotaurs pick up here a little bit. We only got a little over 60 seconds so far, Charles, and oh my, Redwater coming in with a shot from the midfield, taking the lead.
And a clutch shot, if anything. Just gets it past, I think, their whole defense there, as he just pops it right over them. Great read on that 50. And this lead, it's looking very promising for this Bandits roster.
Yes, it certainly is, and that is exactly what you want to see if you're a Bandits fan. They really couldn't afford, in my opinion, to go down 2-0 in the series to the Minotaurs here. as the Minotaurs seem to play off of that energy. And I think they might have very well been able to sweep the Bandits. But with the Bandits, DrWaffles getting a huge dunk on Snazzy. Snazzy still getting the save, but just not enough.
Not one, not two, but 3 defenders. He just dribbled it past 3 defenders, and what a dunk at the end. That is a highlight reel play. That's exactly what the Bandits need, confidence-wise.
Yes, sir. In less than 60 seconds now to go. Wheels looking for a double. DrWaffles to take it away from him on the backboard. Snazzy gets the touch, keeping it in the Bandit zone. Missing his second, though. Frosty trying to slow it down. Trying to find a teammate. He does. He gets it past the midpoint. Out of the corner, Snazzy's there. Snazzy to clear it down to Wheels. Rogue gets it across the midline. Redwater to doink it, keeping it in the Minotaur zone. Snazzy up to Wheels. Wheels can't get the redirect, and nor does it turn into a fake for him as DrWaffles pulls out the save. Less than 10 seconds here. It's looking like game 2 is pretty much a wash at this point for the Minotaurs. Bandits able to reel this game back in, win game number 2, tie the series up going into game number 3.
I think the Bandits looked like the better team. They had 10 shots to Minotaurs 3, and that is really important if you want to make another team respect you. And I think the Minotaurs are starting to respect this Bandits roster and just a complete game overall. I mean, every player on the Bandits roster scored a goal, and that's exactly the type of teamwork that got them to this second seed, and they could go the distance if this continues.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if the Bandits just maybe had some stream nerves in game number 1, because that was almost a completely different Bandits team right there. They came out really hot in game number 2. I'm interested to see what we got coming up for game number 3, and the Minotaur is going to be able to pull things back, snag another winner. Bandits going to take the lead in the series. It's I'd say it's anybody's game at this point, Charles.
I would have to agree. I mean, it's a toss-up at this point. This game number 3 is obviously a crucial one to see who has the edge in this series. And I think the team that is going to have that edge, if they continue what they're doing, is going to be this Bandits roster. Maybe we need to see some adjusting from the Minotaurs in order to maintain the pressure that they had in game 1. And maybe we need to see some highlight reel plays from the Minotaurs, like almost this one, as the follow trickles in. Oh my goodness.
Frosty, big save there. Good play from him on the defensive line, denying the Minotaurs that goal. Snazzy can't get it past Frosty. Rogue gonna get the demo on him, putting it out to the mid. He finds Snazzy. Minotaurs starting things out. 30 seconds gone.
Ooh, what a shot. Puts that top right, and that's exactly the goal that you need to say, hey, Bandits, I know you beat us in game 2, but this game number 3 is our game, and they're looking hot.
Yes, they certainly are, though there's plenty of time left. Wheels with the touch off the sidewall. DrWaffles out of his own corner, trying to find Redwater. Snazzy getting up in it. Frosty looking to follow. Gets it past Wheels, but gets demoed. Rogue got plenty of time to work with. Rogue gets bumped off the ball. He's going to get pushed out of the play. And DrWaffles with the aggressive play. Frosty can't get it through Rogue. That would have been a perfect play. Once again from DrWaffles there with the bumps. It seems to be an MO of his, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, DrWaffles at this point, as another demo comes out as we are talking about it, he's looking really good on the demo side of things, and I'm looking for him to really step up for his team, maybe get a clutch demo in the latter half of this match. I know we're not halfway, but Minotaurs are looking like the better team so far.
And that was back. If we harken back to game number 1, that was the way that they got their the one goal that they got was DrWaffles came in with the demo play, and we just see Redwater with another demo. So it seems that the Bandits have started to commit a little bit more to the aggressive play. We'll see if it works out for them, as unfortunately for them, Wheels coming through and finding a shot on an open net.
Unfortunate double commit by the Bandits, but what a great play really incorporating every single member of the Minotaurs roster to make that goal happen. And that teamwork is exactly what you love to see. I know Bandits in game number 2 had great teamwork. Every player scored a goal, but it's looking like Minotaurs are on that same track.
Yes, it certainly is. As we are coming down to the final moments of the first half of game number 3, Minotaurs are up by 2, and they aim to be leading the series after game number 3, unless the Bandits are able to turn things around in the second half of this game. DrWaffles pops it up. Wheels is there. He gets the touch. Rogue to follow up. Rogue having a look at an empty net, but his shot's going to go wide. Rolls up the wall. Frosty going to take control. Frosty's going to have to 50 with the Minotaurs before he can get it cleared out. DrWaffles off the backboard. Snazzy sends it away to the side. Redwater pops it up in the mid. Frosty's there. Back to Redwater and across, but nobody. DrWaffles not expecting the touch to come out. DrWaffles with the shot, though. And it gets cleared away, and nobody back from Bandits. Wheels gonna put that one in, and now the Minotaurs are up by 3.
That's just a lapse in the defense. I think every single Bandits player was in the Minotaurs half, and that's exactly what's going to happen if that happens. And Minotaurs just taking an easy goal, and they're up 3-0 now.
Yeah, that is unfortunate situation for the Bandits. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make a comeback from this one. As we saw already in game number 1, if the Minotaurs are able to get up like this and dictate the pace of the match, or the pace of the game rather, DrWaffles, not wanting to hear what I have to say, puts it in the back of the net, and with 1 minute and 43 seconds left on the clock, they're only down by 1 now. Bandits still have a chance.
What an acrobatic goal, just stretching across the length of the net, putting it top left corner. Great pass, great shot, but this Bandits team needs to score 2 more goals to at least send it to overtime. Can they do it?
If they keep heating up, Frosty with the shot. Rogue makes the stop, though. What a good defensive play from Rogue on the defensive line. Pops it up enough, and DrWaffles putting another one on yet again. Rogue gonna deny him. Wheels coming off the sidewall, missing his touch. Frosty takes advantage of the missed touch from Minotaurs, and now Bandits are only down by 1.
I mean, we got to talk about that pinch from Redwater. Just sends it all the way to in front of the net, and that is where the missed touch comes out, and that's going to be an easy put in for Frosty. Just great overall play, and they're starting to come back here. A little curious, Psycho, do you think they have it in them?
Honestly, I do think that they have it in them. From what I've been seeing so far, they've got the accuracy. They when they turn on the offensive pressure, they do pretty well. It's just they seem to have a bit of a problem getting out of their half and getting past Gorgons in the midfield. But I mean, they've already won 1 game. They're making a comeback here, so we'll have to see if they're able to actually do it, or if the Minotaurs are going to hold out strong in game number 3 as we get closer and closer to the final 30 seconds here. Redwater taking that away. Redwater trying desperately to get the ball back in front of the Minotaurs net. Wheels is there. 25 seconds now. DrWaffles out of the corner, gets bumped off of the ball. Rogue trying to send it out. He gets it past the midline. Gets a shot on net. Redwater not up in time, and Rogue now extends the Minotaurs lead by 2.
Rogue did it all himself. I mean, he just trekked down the field and put an amazing shot on net, just single-handedly, I think, levitating the Minotaurs to this game 3 victory if nothing changes.
Yeah, I mean, the Bandits pretty much going to need a miracle at this point. They have to score, like, now, and then they're going to have to score immediately off of a kickoff. And I just don't think that's possible in all realism. Rogue almost getting one for the road. Minotaurs, your victors of game number 3. Now they only require 2 more wins to secure their spot in the semifinals.
I will say, Minotaurs looking like they found their groove a little bit here. They know the Bandits' weakness, and that is just letting that third man be too aggressive, and they capitalized off of it twice. And, I will say a goal is a goal, and Minotaurs are definitely looking good, and they're mechanical. They're playing great defense, and I'm excited to see if this continues into game number 4.
Yeah, me as well. Minotaurs looking to continue that momentum, I'm sure. And I think if the Minotaurs are able to take game number 4, then they should be able to bag it back to back with game number 5. I don't see the Bandits being able to stop their momentum of getting 2 wins in a row. Um, I don't think they'll be able to take that away from them. However, if Bandits can come out here and take game number 4 off of Minotaurs and disrupt their cycle enough, I think we could easily have a game number 7, and Bandits could easily be the victors.
I 100% agree. If the Bandits take this game number 4, they're looking to maybe take Minotaurs the distance. And the this game number 4 is a swing game. If whatever team wins this game is going to have an obvious advantage, and I think the winner of this game might just be Bandits. I mean, they didn't look as good as they did in game number 2 as game number 3. But as I am saying that, Frosty's just going to put that into the back of the net.
Yeah, ask and ye shall receive. Waffles getting up there. Not sure if what he was doing had anything to do, like if it faked any of the defenders, or if that was just an off rotation. Either way, the Bandits going to go up early. 9 seconds in for them to find their first net. Wheels off the backboard. Snazzy's there. He puts it to the left. Redwater just too far away to get to it.
I mean, I think the story of this shot, obviously the pass is amazing, but the shot placement, giving Redwater 0 chance to get to that. That is going to be a tied game. 4 minutes and 44 seconds into this one.
Yeah, you love to see the placement come out. It's always so beautiful whenever it's a purposeful placement as opposed to an accidental. So you love to see that. For the tying goal there, not even a minute gone so far. We've got 2 goals to come out. Both of these teams playing a lot more aggressive, or perhaps it's just the Bandits really that are playing a lot more aggressive, as we've seen almost every single match. I believe the Minotaurs have scored early. But DrWaffles is up and he almost gets the bar down, but it gets popped out. DrWaffles with another touch in front of the Minotaurs net. Snazzy gets it taken away by Frosty. Frosty almost finding the lucky angle, but it doesn't go. It hits the post and bounces out. DrWaffles missing his defensive touch, missing his second one, trying to block Rogue. But he does stick with the ball now. In the midfield, gets the mid boost, taken away by Snazzy. Snazzy putting it out to Wheels. Wheels might have something here. DrWaffles clears it from behind him. And 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. We still got a tied ball game here, Charles. Both of these teams just, I feel like they're, Wheels gonna thread the needle on that.
He definitely threaded the needle, as the pass actually going to come out from DrWaffles. He gets it past 2 defenders, and that is going to be a lead for the Minotaurs in this game 4. If this lead continues to grow, I don't think Bandits have it in them to take the lead back in this game number 4.
Yeah, this does put the Bandits in some dangerous territory, some hot water, if you will. If the Minotaurs are allowed to win this, they'll be at match point in the series. They only require one more win to send this Bandits roster home for the rest of the season. Frosty out of the corner gets a, I'm not sure how he got a demo there, but I might have missed something, but it looked like that just looked a little bit strange to me, Charles. You know, them demos be acting a little weird sometimes.
I can attest to that, as I'm a bit of a demo junkie myself. I do appreciate a good demo, and DrWaffles has been supplying the demos definitely in this series, and I hope to see more of them as this game continues. As a shot actually going to go a little bit wide from Frosty there, but DrWaffles definitely playing an important role. I'm curious to see if he's going to maybe step up for his team here and help tie this game.
Bandits with a not a very threatening offensive push there. Oh my Wheels, trying to find an impossible angle. Doesn't get the angle, does get back in time, to block a shot on the Minotaurs net, however. DrWaffles coming out of the Bandits corner. 50s with Wheels. Can't drop on the ball. Wheels trying to find a redirect, but it sends it across instead. Rogue is with it. Back passes to the midfield. Snazzy's there. Pops it up, but Frosty is ready for the ball. Frosty clears it down into the Minotaurs corner. Redwater getting bumped from behind. DrWaffles is there. Rogue putting it off the crossbar. Frosty missing his clear, and Snazzy missing his shot. Frosty trying to desperately to get it out of the Bandit zone. Frosty pops it up. Snazzy there to make the touch. Wheels gets it past the defender in the midfield. Redwater is going to get beat out, or excuse me, dunked out by Rogue. Snazzy with the touch. Frosty with the save. As we reach our final 60 seconds here in game number 4, Charles. Minotaurs still leading by 1. Bandits, it's hard to tell if they're going to be able to make a comeback here.
I mean, as this game is progressing, I definitely see Minotaurs having a more aggressive looks to try to stop, maybe stop the Bandits from coming back into this one. And it's definitely showing as a ball has not yet to trickle into the net here, and I expect it too soon if this keeps continuing.
Yeah, you would think that the Minotaurs will eventually crack, and they have been making mistakes defensively, as we just saw Wheels miss that ball. But even whenever they do that, the Bandits aren't there to capitalize on the situation. They're not pushed up, at least one of them's not pushed up far enough, and so they are still trailing with 20 seconds left on the clock. Excuse me. Redwater trying desperately to get it in front of the net. Frosty there as well. Wheels getting bumped by Rogue. A little bit of a panic coming out from the Minotaurs. Redwater trying to get something going. The final seconds. Frosty putting it off the backboard. Frosty to keep it up, but his shot's not going to go, and that's going to drop. Minotaurs are going to win game number 4. They're now sitting at match point in this best-of-7 series.
The Minotaurs are in the driver's seat in this series, and, you know, this car is about to go off the cliff if Bandits keep playing the way that they're playing. They played a solid game, but if you want to win against a team like Minotaurs, you can't play solid. You have to play great. And I'm looking for maybe DrWaffles to step up with those demos, as we saw. You know, I love demos, and DrWaffles will supply those demos, and he came in clutch in game number 1. And honestly, I just need Bandits roster as a whole to step it up a little bit and make the Minotaurs panic, and obviously take this game 5, but looking at it.
Yeah, that is what they're going to need to do. Bandits electing to take their tactical time out here before game number 5, which might be the best thing for them, to be honest with you. They're trying to cool down the Minotaurs a little bit here, so they'll get an additional 60 seconds once we enter back into the lobby, so they can sort of gather their thoughts, maybe try and apply some new strats, if you will, but work things out. Maybe throw the Minotaurs out of the groove that they had just found. But, you know, that's kind of the maybe not, Charles. That's the risk you run. Sometimes you're the one that gets cold and the other team stays hot.
Honestly, if they were going to take a timeout, it had to be now. Got to talk some things out. And I think, honestly, this timeout is exactly what Bandits need to come back in this one. You know, obviously, they had a better regular season than Minotaurs, and that is for a reason. Obviously, they look great like as a team. They might not be as mechanical as Minotaurs, but they definitely have that chemistry, and it's boosted them to where they are currently. I'm just excited to see if they can take it to the next level here against a Minotaur team who is looking dangerous.
Yeah, well, they have certainly a steep cliff ahead of them to take the Minotaurs down. They have to win the next 3 matches in a row if they want to continue on and secure their spot in the semifinals against the Vipers, who will be more than likely playing next week. But we have now ended the timeout is over. So we're going to have the players joining back up on the pitch now, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready for game number 5, Minotaurs versus Bandits. Minotaurs up 3-1 in the series, so they are match point and only need one more win. Snazzy bouncing it up. DrWaffles going to make the save. Rogue trying to keep the pressure alive. Redwater taking it away from him. Trying to get the clear, but Wheels in the midfield. Frosty with the touch out to the mid. Rogue makes it stop the double commit from the Minotaurs, leaving the net open, but Redwater's shot is not going to be accurate. Wheels with the catch. DrWaffles dunks it off of him, sends it over, and then gets a demo on Snazzy as he rotates out. Redwater with the bounce shot. Wheels going to make the stop on it. A little under a minute gone so far. 0-0 on the scoreline. We're seeing, I guess, a slightly different but kind of the same as we've seen the last, 2 matches. Last match was, 1-1 pretty quick, but then it just kind of stayed that way for a long time, Charles.
Yeah, and if the Bandits can't let that happen, they need to take a commanding lead, as Wheel's just going to do it all himself.
What a play from him. Rogue, I'm not sure if that worked out as... Oh, yeah, Rogue going for the bump, and Redwater having to get out of the way of that bump, allowing Wheels to just walk that one in there.
Oh, my goodness. Just crazy play by Minotaurs, and that's exactly what you need. Very, very physical play. You're getting into the minds of this Bandits roster, and I will say the Bandits did do a little bit of adjusting, as they are playing a more physical game. You see a bunch of demos coming out, and that could work for them, but what needs to happen right now is these chances like these need to go in. Top left, and it almost trickled in there.
Yeah, one of the biggest enemies of the Bandits this this series so far has been the post and the crossbar, and then on top of that, Minotaurs have just had an absolute iron wall. They're not even got a brick wall. They've just been knocking down the saves every single game. The Bandits doing, honestly, a pretty good job of taking shots, but it's just nothing's landing. The Minotaurs are just too strong for them so far, and they're up by 1 now, about to be up by 2. Snazzy taking his shots a little bit too high, bounces off of the crossbar. Redwater taking it a little bit of a more aggressive approach, taking the ball away from his teammates, getting it to the mid. DrWaffles trying to help out Frosty. Can't get it past Rogue. Waffles going to take a shot. Frosty gets a demo on the rotation out, but it doesn't work out for him. DrWaffles to send that one back. Halfway through game number 5, Minotaurs up leading by 1, which puts Bandits in a dangerous situation. As a loss here, DrWaffles finding the pass from Redwater, perfectly placed, tying us up.
Ask and you shall receive. You want a goal? DrWaffles will provide perfectly. Top left, and the pass, and any ball that DrWaffles is going to shoot is going to go in the net, as we saw there. And the Bandits are looking good, but I will say Minotaurs are looking like the better team as we enter at the halfway point of this game.
But the Bandits need this win. They need it bad, or they go home. Their season ends. They have to get 3 wins in a row, but it's going to start with this one right here, right now. 2 minutes left on the clock. We do have a tied ball game. It could be in either team's favor at this point. Wheels putting it out in front. Redwater's there. DrWaffles going for the low 50, but it works in favor of the Minotaurs. Redwater just trying to get it away from his net. Nobody from Minotaurs there to take the shot on the empty. Rogue, he's there, but it gets deflected. Waffles gets the doink before he gets demoed, and Redwater can't get it through. Wheels, the pass coming out. Minotaur staying strong defensively. Rogue is there, but Frosty is as well. Frosty can't get it through Snazzy. Snazzy banging it out of the corner. Waffles getting the catch, but not able to follow up the play. So Wheels sends it into the Bandits' corner, and the demo coming out, opening up the lane. Snazzy putting that home and taking the lead for the Minotaurs.
That was a double demo by Rogue. That is ridiculous. There's nobody to stop that shot. And, unfortunate play by the Bandits. I think they were both going for that back boost, and they're both in the same angle, and Rogue just kind of ran through them. That's exactly the kind of play that you need from this Minotaurs team to take the rug out from under this Bandits roster.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm surprised that it took until game 5 for us to see the demos coming out from Rogue. when he was a novice league player, that's pretty much what he got known for. Was he was just going to chase demos, and he just opened up the box for his teammates every single game. So it's interesting to see it take this long to come out. Wheels gonna get the ricochet shot off of the sidewall and catch the Bandits sleeping.
Yeah, the Bandits are definitely panicking here as Redwater gets caught on the back foot, and that's just going to be an unfortunate goal for the on the Bandit side of things. But Minotaurs looking good in the last 30 seconds of this game.
Yeah, they certainly are. Frosty sending one down, trying to get the dunk. Not able to get it. 30 seconds left for the Bandits to figure something out. They need 2 goals or their season ends. Right here, right now. Wheels with another shot on net, but Waffles to make the stop. Snazzy sending it back to the mid-row. Can't find the touch. That would have been yet another goal for them as the clock winds down. 10 seconds now left. Bandits getting desperate as it's almost impossible at this point. Rogue with the carry that fakes out the defender, and that is stick a fork into the Bandits are pretty much done.
Yeah, I think a little bit of double commit there, but what does it matter as Rogue is just going to put the back in the net, and what a series by Minotaurs. I think they definitely deserve to win this one.
Yeah, they played really, really well, only allowing the Bandits to take 1 game off of them in the series. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The ball's going to touch. Minotaurs are your victors. They secured their spot. They're moving on to the semifinals to play against the Vipers next week. It's going to be a pretty killer match, I think. Hats off to the Bandits. They got to hang their heads as they walk away with their season ending there. However, they played really well. You know, it was kind of a surprising series. I thought we were going to see a Game 7 for sure because the Bandits didn't play bad at all. It's just they couldn't get through the Minotaurs. The Minotaurs just played so well defensively.
Yeah, and I think the key there was they didn't panic. And panicking was a really important factor for the Bandits, as you saw in the latter half of that match. They were panicking a lot, and that's what killed them eventually.
Yeah, that is that once that started to come out, it was quite unfortunate for them. They weren't able to rein it in. And it's gonna, panic like that's gonna lead to losses almost every time, unless the other team just panic harder or just absolutely tosses the game. But you can rest assured that Minotaurs not going to do that. Snazzy, he's an OG here in the Nemesis Gaming League. Actually, all 3 of them have been around for a while. Rogue being manager and a GM. Wheels and Rogue actually, play together quite often. They're IRL friends, so they've got that chemistry, which they were able to definitely show off tonight. So congratulations to them boys. Moving on to the semifinals, it was a great match.
Oh yeah, it was a really great match. And honestly, Minotaurs, they're looking like a very hot team going into the semifinals. Definitely a team that I would be scared of personally. But I will say, Bandits, hats off to you. You guys played a great series, but Minotaurs obviously had the better series, and it definitely showed as they were the more mechanical team and the better team on that defensive end, like you mentioned.
And I want to thank you, Charles, for joining me up in the booth. That's pretty much going to wrap us up for game number 2 here tonight in the Nemesis Gaming League.
All right, I'll see ya.
And stick around, folks. We're gonna take a quick little break, probably about 15 minutes before we get back into the action. When we do come back at 9 o'clock Eastern, we're gonna be back into the Titan League. We've got Venganza going up against the Grand Masters. It's gonna be a fiery match you don't want to miss.